Perhaps the Outlanders are worried that something drastic will happen the moment they remove it. Maybe that's why they're investigating the area thoroughly first. Can't fault them for that. I'm wondering if we can take advantage of this downtime to discuss whether we really need to keep this up.
Oh, if you guys don't want to put on a voice and speak in verse, be my guest. Just don't blame me for your own poetic incompetence.
Stop the poem. We have a situation. Something's up with this person.
Traveler? Are you alright?
Come on, you can do it! This can't be how our story ends!
Can I give you a hand, or a tail, even?
Wood and earthenware strewn all around, the demon feline's fury can't be quelled, reducing them to rubble on the ground.
No, you don't. I wrote that line. Don't start plagiarizing me just because you can't...
As the Outlander stands before the clockwork key, they're overcome by a sudden urge to set it free. Also, Cafe, that'll be my last rhyming line. I'm not writing any more poetry until you apologize.
What does it matter anyway? I've lost count of how many people have tried this before. No one's getting that key out.
Strong as stone, firm as steel, the Outlander pulls, but it does not yield.
This has happened many times before, but this time is different. A thought enters the Outlander's mind. Attack! Attack! First weaken the structure, then seize the treasure!
The attack's now over! Only one final step remains.
Now it is the time to seize the key.
Yes! Finally! Come on, move your butts! And your lights, assuming they're still in working order. It's showtime!
No hard feelings about your lack of poetic contributions?
Oh, let it go! Welcome, esteemed and noble Outlander. Allow us to introduce ourselves.
We represent the 3 great clans of this realm, having been selected as its authorized historical supervisors.
Our purpose being to await the arrival of one such as yourselves, who shall remove the clockwork key.
My name is...
You're Cape, he's Albizzi, and that's Bobarano, right? You've done so much talking that we can already tell you apart by your voices.
Aren't we missing someone, though? The guy who led us here to begin with?
Who?
And thus was born the long-awaited fellowship, destined to uncover the truth of the past. Allow me to quote, if I may, in the history of Constellation Metropole, a new page has begun.
Him.
Well, there's no fourth person, so which of you is the ventriloquist? Come on, out with it.
We've never heard that voice before, but he sounds like he'd be good at reading bedtime stories to children.
Well, whoever it is, I don't know and I don't care. Forget about him. We have far more important things to focus on, like where our journey goes from here.
That key you hold is the pivot point about which the past and present of the Metropole revolve. However, between our 3 clans, there is some dispute over the historical record.
Each clan has its own version of history, detailing the clan's origins and the tale of the dragon of old. And unfortunately, we don't know which one is the truth.
Dragon? You mean the one that's been acting up recently?
Oh, no, not that one, you adorable little pixie. When I say dragon of old...
He means a dragon that would be really, really old if it was still with us today, but it was defeated in ancient times. The new one has nothing to do with our clan history.
Was that supposed to be a joke? Anyway, so you've been waiting for someone to remove the key so you can finally explore the truth of the past?
Not just explore it, but argue incessantly about it. Honestly, I don't care that much. Cape's the one who's always bothering us about it.
What we need to figure out is who resolved the dragon crisis. We have to know that before we can decide which is the supreme clan.
The moment you removed the key from where it was lodged, you became the honorary Marquis. We humbly beseech you, noble traveler Marquis, we ask you to help us. You and your talking Puss in Boots and the pale floating pixie.
Puss in Boots? Are you serious? It's better than demon feline, but still.
Embrace it, my friend, embrace it. Most cats don't wear boots or speak, do they?
I'm not even a cat, I'm a Nekomata. Now that you know the word, I expect you to use it.
Please allow me to lead you all to a sacred memorial site. It will be much easier to explain what needs to be done once we are there. This place is sacred to my clan. It's where our brave forefathers once took up arms against the dragon of old. After a bitter battle that dragged on for many days and nights, finally, our forefathers fought the dragon into submission, and it fled. They took turns, though. Some forefathers worked the day shift, while others worked the night shift. So they say. It's just a legend, though.
Wait a second? Did I just hear you admit that your clan's history is just a legend?
History, legend, who cares? My clan was definitely courageous, that's the point. That's the truth. And isn't the truth what we've all been arguing about non-stop for all these years?
Cape's words gave the traveller food for thought. Could it be that the truth in a fictional world is equivalent to fiction in the real world? But that would have to wait. Apparently, Cape was not alone in his pilgrimage to this sacred site. Unwanted company had arrived. The traveller and the talking cat, Nekomata, decided to teach them some manners.
True display of heroism and valor. It was as if the spirits of my ancestors were fighting through you.
Here's a thought. Could be wrong, but maybe the Traveler Marquis is a lot more powerful than your ancestors.
Your martial prowess and show of courage are a more vivid reenactment of my ancestors' feats that suit the modern aesthetic. Now, let's get down to business. As we all know, time is but an illusion. Time may flow line by line, page by page, or frame by frame, but usually it flows in the form of springs and gears.
And that clockwork key you have in your hand can turn back time and make the past reappear.
Well, actually, my view is that the illusion of time is more of a problem of consciousness. Gears power the body, while the body is the vessel of the conscious mind. But the mind cannot understand the dimension of time, so we experience instead an endless continuum of moments as the pinion of now turns along the rack of ages.
I'm getting flashbacks to when I was delivering packages to the Sumeru Academia.
A teacher once asked Albizzi what his greatest fear was, and he replied, dragons. Boberano was asked the same question. He replied, time, and repeated the argument we just heard. The teacher then turned to Cape and posed the same question. He replied, Boberano.
The manuscript that tells the truth of the historical record, the blueprint to all of creation, the work of the great mage themselves. It can be found at the beginning of the Girac.
Paimon didn't follow all that, but basically, you're just saying that we need to put the key in and turn it all the way back?
Exactly. It is said that in the beginning, the goddess of creation took the goddess of fate's manuscript as a blueprint, placed it under the goddess of prophecy's starry realm, and generated the world from a few magic arrays. So in a few moments, when the great clockwork key turns the local time here back to the very beginning, we will restore the magic arrays back to their original configuration.
Hold on. Isn't stealing part of the blueprint of creation a little dangerous? Also, how are we supposed to know the original configurations of the magic arrays?
Well, the general shapes of the configurations have been passed down over the ages. They now form the family crests of each of our clans. So you'll just need to reference my family crest and join the dots accordingly. To address your other concern, when the house has already been built, do you really think that taking away the construction crew and blueprint will cause it to collapse?
The Traveler Marquis prepares to insert the great clockwork key into the nearby keyhole.
I guess we should start here?
Behold, the sacred writings that record the truth of... No, wait. That have shaped the truth of history. Feast your eyes, rejoice, and cheer! For this is the unquestionable truth. Look at the signature. Nobody is capable of forging that.
I don't believe it. So, all along, our histories have been...
Don't lose heart, Albizzi. It does not follow from his is true that ours are false.
That might be the most bogus logic I've ever heard. But keep up the mental gymnastics, Boberano. I've been waiting for that look of jealousy on your face my whole life, and I'm gonna savor it.
And yet, it seemed that this conundrum could indeed have more than one solution. Everyone agreed that there may be more than one truth. The party decided to visit the sacred sites of the other clans and see what their documents had to say.
Isn't a narrator supposed to remain detached and objective? It feels like you're forcing a narrative agenda on us here. Oh, whatever. I'm in a good mood. Let's do it. The instructions say to repeat the process 3 times, and besides, I'm looking forward to watching you both be sorely
Let's do my clan next. I'll lead the way.
We'll need the key again.
The party finds no pedestal in which to place the great clockwork key, only a locked door.
Where's your clan's pedestal? Let me guess, you hid it away in advance to save yourself the embarrassment of having it exposed as a...
You done? Okay. Now, since my clan's main claim to fame is...
Misinformation, half-truths, and fabrication.
Ah, shut up, Cape.
Shut up, Cape.
I swear, if I wind up dead one day, the murderer was Boberano. Let those be my last words.
My clan's claim to fame is that we outwitted the dragon of old and stole its treasure. Ergo, all articles of value...
So, next step is open the door?
Almost. There's one step before that. The door is protected by a smart interrogation system. We have to answer its questions, and if we get them wrong...
Jeez. Well, do you at least know the answer?
The correction fluid of time has dyed white the pages of the Book of Wisdom. No. But worry not. I had a quick word with the constabulary in advance. They'll ignore the alarm if we get the questions wrong.
Question 1. Who is it?
The great yokai, Nekomata in boots.
And the trusty travel guide, Pixie! Travel guide.
Question 2. By which virtue did the ancients defeat the dragon?
Oh, no, don't say that. Even though the writings you saw do prove that...
You do realize we can hear everything you're saying.
If you say it out loud, you'll only set those three off arguing again. Thinking it is fine, but please promise me you won't...
Question 2. By which virtue...
If this is the right answer, I swear I'll...
Correct!
What? A barefaced lie.
Question 3. Which is more real? The fiction of the outside world, or the truth of this world?
Hear, hear! Who can be sure that the outside world isn't just a dream? And that when the dreamer wakes up, there is no way to know, therefore both are equally...
All correct. You may have the key pedestal.
Traveler Marquis, you know what must be done. Please insert the great clockwork key. Oh, and this is my family crest.
Do we really need this one?
The Traveller Marquee draws a design that is practical and aesthetically pleasing in equal measure. One thing it is not, however, is correct. I think you should take another look at Bobarano's family crest and have another go. Are you, gonna try again?
Now, let me see what
elaborate fiction the Clan of Wisdom was able to...
If anyone's listening, I would like to submit these as my last words. I surrender. I'm the one who murdered Cape. Look! My clan's history is true as well! There's that same unforgeable signature again, right here!
What? Oh, does this mean that my clan is the only odd one out?
Given that my clan's wisdom is such a subject of ridicule in your eyes, I will now appeal to my own personal intelligence, which I believe far surpasses that of my clan at large. It seems likely that the claims made by each of our clans regarding their history and virtue are all true.
Bobarano? How can...
Oh, I get what's going on. Once, when I was drinking with Gujiyai, she bet me a round of dried fish that I couldn't guess which cup the umeboshi was under. Whichever one I guessed, I was always wrong, and Gujiyai would lift a different cup to reveal the umeboshi. But then, I learned later from one of the shrine maidens, Miyuki, that all of the cups had an umeboshi under them. Just goes to show, I still got a long way to go before I become a great yokai.
Oh, don't mind Fox Lady. That's just her way of teasing you.
Actually, that reminds me. We can now open these 3 treasure chests. And unlike the guessing game you mentioned, this one's not a trick.
Cool. Well, once you've plundered the last of Bobarano's family...
The time has come to...
Guess I'll take the clockwork key again then. Yoink!
I'm curious to see what this end of the world place is like. Come on, let's go meet the others at the station.
The cohort of truth seekers followed Albizzi to his clan's sacred site. They arrived to the site of a giant guard towering over them.
Up ahead is my clan's gigantified guard. He can be a little pig-headed, and he's incredibly strong. Your weapons won't even scratch him.
Wait, but wasn't Cape's clan the one that's all about strength? So, what do you guys believe in then?
Oh, the guard is one of Cape's people. Size is a coveted trait in the clan of strength, after all. Mine is the clan of empathy, and our key contribution is growth serum.
What's empathetic about that?
Our ancestors believed that, just maybe, the dragon of old didn't mean us any harm at all. Perhaps the dragon simply didn't notice us. So, they drank the growth serum and grew even larger than the dragon. Then, they set the dragon down, calmly explained their perspective, and eventually taught it how to empathize. The serum isn't what it once was, though. Nowadays, it doesn't make you grow all that much, and it actually makes you lose your empathy. So, I advise we take a detour.
Despite Albizzi's words of caution, somebody, no doubt, has other ideas. Surely we could avoid a conflict with the guard, they think to themselves, if we could just try to understand one another. You could, of course, just take the path to your left and go around. But some people are gluttons for punishment. It's all part of the experience, I suppose.